Hello and welcome in guys to my in-depth guitar review channel. This time I'm gonna do something different. I'm not gonna wait until the end of the review to tell you my opinion, simply because the 2017 Gibson SG Custom is one of the best guitars that I have ever tried. I mean, I was expecting it to be good, nothing bad comes out of the Gibson Custom shop, but this good, to be on par with my Gibson Les Paul Custom, that was a surprise for me. And once again, I was lucky enough to get this guitar because a friend of mine gave it to me for the review. Hopefully, I will end up buying it eventually. It looks fantastic in person. But, whoa, what's going on here? I feel something different. Some disturbance in the force. I don't feel the typical SG Viper neck dive on this guitar, but it's because it has some modifications that I'm gonna show you later on. So, a Les Paul Custom is relatively easy to find, but an SG, you don't see that every day. And I'm really glad a good friend of mine gave me the chance to try this one out. So what do we got over here? It has the same pickup set as the Les Paul Custom, and I'm gonna compare the two guitars in another video tone-wise. The pickups are 490R at the neck, 498T at the bridge, pneumatic Nashville bridge. We got the typical SG control scheme over here. And then we got Richlight fingerboard. Gibson was using Richlight from 2012 until the beginning of 2019, and this is a 2017 guitar, but it's hard to distinguish from Ebony. It has the typical binding and diamond on the headstock for the custom model. And this guitar has a pretty unusual modification here at the electronics cavity. I'm gonna show you in a while. I wanna quickly show you the case, so I'm gonna put the guitar on the stand here. The SG Custom comes with this black Gibson Custom case, curved top, SG shape, 4 gold plated latches and sturdy leather handle, and on the inside it's trimmed with this beautiful dark purple fabric. It has a compartment for strings, tools, things like that, and over here we have the original tuners, which are Grover, not Goto. And can you guys guess what this is? Stick around and you'll find out when I review the electronics in the back of the SG. What is it that makes the Gibson SG Custom different from the other models? Just listen to the fancy description Gibson gave to this guitar. The 2017 SG Custom retains all the fast-playing, devilish charm of an SG, refreshed with iconic custom aesthetics. The two powerful humbuckers are a first, while its slick ebony nitrocellulose finish and multiply appointments combine pure rock and roll with class. Ooh, gave me goosebumps. In other words, if you want the cool and slick look of the Les Paul Custom but in SG form, we got a guitar for you. And boy oh boy do they have a guitar for me. This is the first time I'm openly admitting that a guitar comes close to replacing my favorite Les Paul Custom. But don't get me wrong, this is not a Les Paul in SG form. The two guitars are quite different from each other. For example, the Les Paul has a thicker body and it has maple cap, and that makes a huge difference in the sound. The thinner SG body just resonates so well. The guitar has this huge, open, shouty, throaty mid-range that is much more pronounced compared to my Les Paul Custom, and it's not a case of one versus the other, you should own both. Honestly, if I'm an active musician having to gig like every other day, I would definitely go for the SG. So much lighter, no compromise with the tone, it's an amazing guitar. And it's as close to the Les Paul as it gets. Is it worth buying a custom over a standard or classic, for example? It depends. If you don't care about the aesthetics, if you don't need hot pickups, go with the others. For me, there's no other choice. I would always go SG Custom, and let's check it out. And I'm back to my comfort zone with this guitar, because the specs are pretty close to the Les Paul Custom. So what do we got here? We got mahogany body, solid, mahogany neck one piece, Richlight fingerboard for this guitar, 24.75 inch scale length, 22 medium jumbo frets, the real pearl inlays that we find on most custom models, binding on the neck, binding on the headstock, the diamond on the headstock. The tuners are not original on this one, but the pickup set is. We got the 490R at the neck and 498T at the bridge. The typical SG control scheme: 3-way switch, neck volume, neck tone, bridge tone, output jack. And the original Nashville bridge and stop tail. So close to the Les Paul and yet so far. The pickups are out of the way, and what we got here? I see a long neck tenon set neck construction for this SG. Unfortunately, Gibson used the same black paint in here, so I'm not able to see the mahogany body. But something that I've just realized, this small plastic pickguard piece, I didn't know it was here. It is held by these two screws, and I'm gonna remove it in a minute to show you what's underneath. I'm not sure if this is purely cosmetic or it has some function. It makes the pickguard look continuous, connects over here. Tell me what it is in the comment section. Routing for the neck pickup, braided shielded wire, and here is a better look of the bridge pickup cavity. And this is the small piece of plastic that was between the pickup and the fingerboard. Once again, if you know exactly what it is, let me know in the comment section. The pickup set is the same that Gibson uses for the Gibson Les Paul Custom, the 490R, nicknamed the Modern Classic, made in 2017, Gibson USA laser etched logo, and at the bridge we have the 498T, also made in 2017. That's a set. Flat, slanted pickup rings and short screws for the front, long for the back. I'm familiar with this set of pickups and know what to expect. The bridge is at 13.67. The 490R neck measures at 7.75 and the middle position is 495. Typical SG control scheme: we got a 3-way switch, neck volume, bridge volume, neck tone, bridge tone, switchcraft output jack, switchcraft 3-way switch, CTS pots, and this is the first time I'm seeing those top hats with almost like rose gold font to them, and they have thumb bleeders that come in handy when you roll down the volume. Two pneumatic bridge and tailpiece, and the bridge is Nashville style. It is the exact same I've seen on the 2008 Gibson Les Paul Custom. It has this PW marking on the bottom and the original tailpiece that you can recognize by this tool mark. I'm gonna give you a better look of it, and I'm gonna top wrap the strings around it. Oops, I forgot one of the strings in it. The SG Custom uses the small 5-screw pickguard. It has some white binding, and this is what the back of it looks like. Some other SG models use the big pickguard with 11 holes. This SG features a mahogany neck with rich light fingerboard. Yes, this is rich light because Gibson was using it throughout 2012-2019, and this is 2017. And honestly, at first I didn't know this was rich light and I couldn't tell the difference. I had to compare it with my 2019 Les Paul Custom. And the selection of pearl block inlays is excellent on this guitar. They all got interesting patterns going on. Look at the first one. And this is not a bone nut, it's a Korean nut. And no, that doesn't mean it was made in Korea, it's just the name of a material used in kitchen countertops production. 22 medium jumbo frets in excellent condition with fret edge binding. The nut is 42.8 mm wide or 1.68 inch. The 12th fret is 52.3 mm or 2.05 inches. Thickness at the first fret is 21 mm or 0.82 inch. Thickness at the 12th fret is 23 mm or 0.90 inch. The neck profile at the 1st and 12th fret is 60 style Slim C. The SG has a one-way truss rod as most Gibsons, and the bell covering the truss rod cavity is this one, same as the Gibson Les Paul but no writing on it. Just look at that pearl diamond, and especially the middle section. Let me give you guys a closer look at that. A closer look of the Gibson logo. And those are not the original tuners, they have been replaced. The original are Grover with the bean knob. Here they are. And I personally think that the replacement Goto tuners look better than the original ones. Look at the bean next to the tulip button. Which one do you prefer? Tell me in the comments, guys. And here it is, the back of the guitar, and I guess it's time to talk about the elephant in the room, and of course I mean this little scratch over here. It's a really interesting story. Nah guys, I'm kidding. I'm talking about these things here in the electronics compartment. Unfortunately, that's not my silver stash as most of you guessed. These are tire weights. You stick them on wheels. And they are here for a good reason, because this SG tends to neck dive. Meaning that if you try to balance the guitar horizontally, the neck wants to point at the ground. I've posted a picture and I've seen a lot of comments online. Oh, my SG doesn't neck dive and this and that. This one neck dives, okay? The Gibson Custom SG has a neck dive. I'm not saying it's a problem, and there are a couple of ways to deal with this. The first and easiest way is to use a thick leather strap, preferably opaque leather, like this one. It kind of locks onto your shoulder and doesn't move, and it works for most people. I've got them all, I've had a lot of these. Basically, I sell them here at the shop. They are right over there. So, please stop telling me to buy a better strap. That's not a good enough solution for this guitar and for me. It still neck dives when you're playing sitting down without a strap. The other solution is a bit scary for a lot of folks. It involves drilling your upper horn and installing a new strap button like this. A lot of people don't like drilling their guitars and they're scared that the upper horn might crack, but it works, it helps with the balance. The third option is a bit extreme, this one, to use self-adhesive tire balancing weights which are made out of metal. I know most of you are concerned about the short circuit, but it doesn't happen in this case. The guitar works perfectly, even when you move, jump around, they don't touch. You can still see some of the components. Here you have the original Switchcraft L-shaped 3-way switch, and here you got the Switchcraft output jack. And under here we got CTS 500K pots, 4 of them. The guitar works perfectly with this, no noise, you'll see the demo, you'll hear it. 280 grams of these in there, and some here on the plate that it's covering the cavity, which looks like this. If you're careful with the placement, you should be fine. Another solution is to install one of those huge vibrola bridges in front, but for me it's kind of ruining the aesthetics of the guitar. Or as some of you suggested, make a metal cover plate for the electronics compartment. The general idea is putting some weight on the body. It's a personal preference, so you go with whichever works for you. This SG features the usual comfort cutaway here on the back. Teensy 60 style mahogany neck with a comfortable access for the high frets. Unlike the Les Paul, the body is not so thick, so the neck joint is not so steep. Glossy neck, finished, no volute. The owner has replaced the original Grover tuners with those Goto gold with tulip buttons. They look good on this guitar, and the serial number is 071771. It is a pretty cool combination of numbers, and this is what the certificate looks like, black leather bound. I'm gonna put some strings on it, set it, and then I'm gonna weigh it. I'm going to set the guitar in E flat standard with 1149 Elixir OptiWeb strings, and I'm gonna do a top wrap on the tailpiece. And behold, the mighty balance of the SG after putting some weight in the electronics, and I have to account for the weight, so this means removing 280 grams of weights, and it's exactly 7 pounds. This amazing 2017 Gibson SG Custom quickly became one of my favorite guitars. I'm glad I had the chance to review it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe to see more.